Hello, hola, bonjour, hey, y'all. My name is Merc. He's down there. Welcome back to the Narkler. hey. Oh my God, you know what? Javi. I don't know if Javi's here yet, but you know what day it is? It's hump day. It is. It's hump day. It's our favorite day. Well, one of them. I hope everybody's having a great week so far. Today is crazy weather here in Toronto. It's been torrential downpour and then sunny and then dark and then rain. It's like all the weathers today. Oh, little Paige is here. Hello, little Pagey Poo. Hello to all of my amazing mods and all of my amazing people who are here. Paka's awake. There's the man down there. But we're going to fake him out. I'm going to make sure he goes over to the chair. Paige, I want to do a pod thoughts soon. We'll talk. Fluffy was first. Fluffy's number one. I'm going to put this on. I just want to get this over with because it's almost his supper time. Pod thoughts now. Do you want to come on up, Paige? I'll send you the link if you want to come up and chat for a while. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. We do any... apparently I'm unhinged. Which is exactly true, which is why we asked for an unhinged guide at the lodge. Come here, the ball. Come here. Get on your chair and eat your darn food. Let's do a mukbang. Get up there and mukbang for the people. Don't do it that way, you crazy man. That's a crazy way to do it. You're supposed to get on the chair, you goof. Goofball. Look at what he's doing. He's just standing on his legs, which is, I guess, what mods. I was reading Ella's comment. What legs are for is to be stood on. But it would be, why don't you sit on the chair? It would be so much easier. Look at his goofiness. Sir Goofball. Can I get the angle here? Look at him. This is how he's going to eat. On his tippy toes. You're silly. All right, we're going. There we go. Okay. Can we get this right a little bit? Hang on. Now, whether he stays there or not, I can't control that. Chances are he will leave. He's going to finish eating that and jump off that chair. We know that's what he's going to do. So it's like Rioception. I switched my chairs, by the way. I'm sure you noticed. You guys don't miss a damn trick. So the white chair is behind me now. You can't see it. You can believe me. The white chair is behind me. Oh, Javi is here now? I see people saying hi to Javi. Javi, it's hump day. Javi, by the way, was very gracious enough to bow out of their well-earned spot in the finale of our Scrabble because they're very busy for a while, for the foreseeable future. So Javi and I had a discussion, and I said, Javi, when you have time, there will be a berth open for you in whatever finale game of Scrabble is going on. You've earned that spot. So I think we will have the finale on maybe Saturday. Everybody seems to be around. I'll set up an event, and we'll do the big grand time zone versus time zone finale in Scrabble, and then we'll just set up another game. We could do it all the time. I know there's other people who wanted to get in on it, and we're getting more people are going like, I can't play. I don't know words. It's like, it doesn't matter. You could win with 3-letter words if you play them strategically. It's fun. It's just something other than watching stuff all the time, right? Although I will say we have been watching some flippin' phenomenal movies in the Discord in the last week. I just like, we've been getting so lucky. There was that one called What You Wish For, was so good. And then we watched last night's, I forget what it was called. Not last night's. There was, seeing what I told you he was going to do. There was one that Mr. Snork suggested the other night that was so good, about Vivarium. So good. And tonight, oh my God, tonight we're watching a documentary called The Contestant. And I know you guys probably know this story about the Japanese guy who was on a reality show where they stripped him naked and put him in an empty apartment and said, you have to earn everything. Here's some sweepstakes. And he had to like do all these contests to win stuff to survive. And he was there for like over a year, and it was like crazy, but there's a really well-made documentary about it. So we're going to watch that tonight. Hello, Maria. It's nice to see you. And tomorrow we'll get naked again. And by that, you know, I don't mean I'm not doing that. I don't want to scare the children. We'll watch, we've been watching Naked and Afraid Last Contestant Standing Season 1. And it is so compelling. Edge of the seat. We've been getting into great conversations about it. It's been great. The final 2 episodes, we'll watch that tomorrow. I set up an event for that. Cameron Mamanga says the whole Discord gets naked together, and that's kosher. Listen, I don't know what you guys are doing over there. Jasmine's it's true, pants are always optional, but you know, you're responsible for your own clothing options. I'm tapping out of that. Today is Wednesday. You know what that means? It's 1 week until I meet Mr. Snork. Mr. Snork coming in here. I'm letting someone in off the grid into the house. Don't allow too many people to do that. Ratbat, thank you for gifting 5 members. That's very generous of you. Ratbat is one of our Scrabble finalists. You might want to get in on that. We have a lot of, we have a big, we've leased some bleachers for all the expected, you know, people who want to come and just watch the Scrabble game. So, you know, it could be a party. Thank you again, Ratbat. So what else? Oh, Green Day and Smashing Pumpkins and Snork in a week. I don't even know when the last concert I went to. Tell me the last concert you went to. Let's see if I even know any of the acts that you saw, because I clocked out sometime in the early 2000s. I was like, I've heard enough now. Thanks. I'm good. I got the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s, even back to the 60s, quite frankly. I'm good. I don't need any more music. That said like a proper old person. Who's never been? Jasmine's never been to a concert? Oh my goodness. Ed Sheeran. I know Ed Sheeran. Placebo. Jam Jameson. I don't know Placebo. It sounds like a cool band. It's a cool band name. Placebo. Wait, do I know Placebo? I don't know if I know. I might be making it up. Amy Grant with Your Mother When You Were 7 is the last concert? Beth saw Warpaint 10 years ago. People don't go to concerts anymore? Hedda Lettuce saw Duran Duran in New York. I saw Duran Duran here. It wasn't the last thing I saw. Oh, someone's got. He's got the zoomies. He's fine. He's being, as you know, Siamese are very dramatic, and he's all about the drama right now. Ella says, Merc, have you seen concert prices nowadays? It's absolutely the truth. Absolutely the truth. It's so not fair. When I was in my 20s, we could afford to do things. We used to go to a lot of concerts. You didn't have to like spend half a month's rent to do it. I really can't recall what the hell the last concert I saw. Literally no idea. I feel like it was something at the Air Canada Centre. Like something big. Oh no, you know what actually would have been the last concert I saw was the Tragically Hip did a free concert at Yonge and Dundas Square before Gordon Downey passed away. That was quite a long time ago. So now we're going to go to a great big, huge 50,000 seat venue and go see Smashing Pumpkins. Esther saw AC/DC at the end of June. Nice, Esther, nice. Yeah, it's not, and it's, you know what, for me it's okay because I'm over it. I've been to all the concerts. I've seen everybody on the list of people I wanted to see. Oh my God, are you gonna? He's gonna knock stuff over. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah, what? He's losing his mind. It's embarrassing, Rio. You're embarrassing me. Oh my God. If I put, he's just running though, so I can't really put the camera on him. Are you nuts? You've gone out of your mind, little man. I don't know if that's on him or not. There you go. That seems to be a spot that he stops and regroups before resuming. But now, of course, you know that now that we've done that, he's going to be dead quiet. Completely quiet now, never made a sound in his life. Just sitting here, don't know why anybody wants to look at me, is what he's saying. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yeah, karaoke is Sunday. I have a couple of songs. I thought I wrote them down. I wrote one down. So yeah, karaoke is Sunday at 4:00. We got all kinds of things planned this week. We've got, like I said, that great movie, The Contestant. And then we were going to watch Orange is the New Black tomorrow, but then we watched it last night. So we need a movie for tomorrow. Friday's classic night. Saturday night is a night. Do we have something planned for Saturday night? I don't remember. And then musical Sunday. I don't know. We got stuff going on. Karaoke on Sunday. Scrabble finale on Saturday. From on Saturday nights, we're watching that series, Ella, thank you for reminding me. It's a series called From, and it feels so Stephen King-like, this series. It's about a weird town where people get stuck and they can't leave. And they also have to stay in at night because at nighttime all these monsters come out of the woods and just eat anybody that's around. So you got to stay in. CH Karaoke is this Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I asked Jenny from the block if she'd like to come, and she said she'd love to, but unfortunately she's going to be in Portugal. And I said, oh, Portugal Village or real Portugal? She said, no, real Portugal. So she's flying on Saturday, I think. So she won't be here. And she says, why do you always have it when I'm not there? Because she wants to come back again. So she definitely will. The binge monsters come out at night. And they binge. So good. What notes did I hear? Fluffy, Green Day, Pod Thoughts. Hey, Paige, if you're still here, here's what I was thinking. How about for Podwats? We could do a Get Ready With Me Amazon edition and show our stuff. Is that a good idea? I want to do it soon. Let's do it soon. Karaoke Sunday, Snork vlog, festival vlog. I got a whole bunch of footage that I need to put together into a vlog, but I'm kind of waiting for this weekend because this weekend is the Peruvian festival in Toronto. Last weekend was the Latin American Food Festival. The weekend before that was the Art Festival and Rib Festival. So I've been going to all these things and filming them, and I'm going to put together a Toronto festival vlog, hopefully before I go. And that's the end of my damn notes. So, pardon my itchy nose. Ratbat asked what episode we're on from 7. I mean, from 7? Probably. I'd have to check. I can't remember. Oh, ceviche. Ceviche again this weekend. I had ceviche last weekend because the Peruvian booth was there. They were late. They opened like an hour late, and I think they did it last year too. But I did get my ceviche. It was very good, and even more exciting is this. They're called El Inca. This Peruvian place, and they used to be in Burlington, which is outside of Toronto. They've opened a location in Toronto at Yonge and St. Clair, which is nowhere near my neighborhood, but they're on Instagram. They're on Uber Eats. So I know that I will be able to get my beloved Peruvian ceviche with leche de tigre delivered. So happy. So yeah, and then this weekend is actually a Peruvian festival. So I asked him, I said, "Are you coming back next weekend for that?" And he said, "No, we're opening the rest. We're still opening. So it's still like I got to work at the restaurant." But I'm sure someone will be. I think there's a ceviche competition at the Peruvian festival. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I got lots of ceviche in my future because then, because in 1 week Snork comes, 12 days after that Paige comes. So in 19 days, I'm going to the damn Amazon. I got to tell you, honestly, getting a little nervous. Good nervous, excited nervous. But it's not real. Eating competition, no, Jam. What they usually do is, like last year they did one at the Latin Food Festival, and they do like a flight, what they call a flight. They had a shot of 3 different ceviches from different countries. So you go and you pay like $25 or something, and you get all 3 portions, and then you vote on them. So it's more ceviche cooking competition for them. Just Jill, you were in Toronto last week. Did you go to the festival? I was the one wandering around the closed Peruvian food booth waiting for it to open. that was me. Fluffy, you should travel right now. Fluffy feels like said almost booked a flight to the Grand Canyon in California. Oh, bad Fluffy. Fluffy needs to save money, though. Figure out how much you could possibly spend and then start looking for flights that fit within that price range and see how far you could go. See if there's somewhere interesting you could get to that's not going to cost you a fortune. I'm healthy, but I'm nervous. I am nervous. I keep telling everybody I have this weird thing where I'm nervous about flying over the Andes. It just sounds very big. It sounds my whole life, the Andes. I've never been to South America. The Andes, it sounds very exotic. Like I've been living in my head in the Amazon for so long, I'm kind of used to that. But the Andes, that sounds exotic. And then there's that plane. Remember that movie about the soccer team that went down? I don't want to crash in the Andes. If I do, I just can it be on the way home. That'd be fine. I'd be okay. Well, I wouldn't be okay. But, Jan says, I thought someone named Richard. Someone named Richard is coming, and Richard is a subscriber, a member of the channel who hangs around with us in the Discord. Usually hangs around and watches a lot of movies and TV and stuff with us. I don't know Richard very well, to be honest, but Richard seems like a pretty straight ahead guy. So, like I said, I'm not Amber. Richard's not staying here. Richard's staying nearby. And Paige and Snork and I will go pick up Richard in the morning, and we'll hang out all day and have breakfast and do some stuff all day. And then the concert's that night, and they're both flying home the next day. So, I mean, we said a long time ago, months ago, when Snork bought the ticket, we said, come on, people, come see Green Day. So, kind of an impromptu, informal get together. But, it's expensive. Coming to Toronto, flights are expensive, and staying here is crazy. But I got Richard a spot in Toronto Metropolitan University as housing. That is a student housing that in the summer, they rented out like Airbnb, and it's really cheap for Toronto. It's really cheap. I think it's like $60 a night, $80 a night or something. So he's going to be staying there, and that's 5 minutes walk from my house. So, yeah. No, Val, you could come. What does Rio weigh? Last time I weighed him, I think he was 13 pounds, 13 or 14 pounds. He's a pretty big boy, but he's like big. He's tall. He's got like a ridiculously long tail and legs. He doesn't even like me. Rio, do you like me at all? No, not really. Not really. He's big boned. He's a big boy. We were out running around the hall today because we go for walks in the hall every day. And he got caught in front of the elevator. The elevator doors open, and the Amazon guy came out, and he was like, "Whoa, I am out of here!" And he was zipping down the hallway at 12 million miles an hour. And I came around the corner laughing, and I said to the Amazon guy, "Did you see him?" He went, "Yeah." And then he came out and had a look. I want him to get used to people and noises and things, Concerned Coffee's cat is a tortie and extremely small. The cat I had before Rio was 6 pounds. She was so small, people thought she was a kitten when she was 10 years old. She was so little, Abby. And she used to only sit on her back like a baby and in my arms all the time. We'd fall asleep here like this. It was so sweet. I loved my little Abby. I mean, trust, Rio's ridiculously special, but aren't they all? Anyway, you know who else is really special? You know who else is really special? There's someone else that's really, really special. Do you know who it is? Can you figure out who it might be? It's Tommy. It's Tommy. Oh my God. She's so special. Amber's whole life has changed, you guys. Amber's whole life has changed. I don't have to tell you. I'm sure all of you already know this is Tommy, or known as Tommy, aka also known as Tommy. Amber's new partner. So 2 days ago, Amber released a TikTok. And then last night, she wanted to make sure, in case you missed it, she put the same video up on Instagram. She wants to make sure everybody sees it. Everybody's got to see this video, man. She wants everybody to see it. I don't know why she didn't. Why did she not put this on her video? Is it not puzzling? Now, I'm going to mute this, of course. I don't even remember if there's music, but it doesn't matter. We could sing something. I won't. I might. I won't. Anyway, this is the video. I will say I slowed it down so we can savor it like really good chocolate. Amber and Tommy. Let's have a look. Oh, you know what? This deserves a bigger. There we go. Amber and Tommy. Now, one thing I was thinking here, are they sitting? They could be sitting. But if they're not sitting, Tommy's not very tall because Amber claims to be 5'2" and 5'3". So this would not be a very tall person, but it's hard to tell if they're sitting or standing in this shot. Oh, she's filming it from her own camera, right? I guess it doesn't make a difference. Hey, young thugga, how you doing? Now, people were saying, what is this expression on Amber's face? What is this expression? Can I tell you something? This is I wish I had the picture, but I don't because I'm sure I brought it to Joan. This is the exact expression that Joan, my narcissist or former narcissist, had while watching my father sign the registry at their wedding. Like, I finally hooked one. I finally got him. I don't know. There's something about... There's always a running joke in our family about the look on my mother's expression. Heather, thank you for the super chat. Heather says, I reckon she ditched the Valentine's storyline because the Lego Batcave was too difficult. It was really, really challenging, Heather. Heather, don't be so mean. It's the exact same look. Now, coincidence? Probably, but I just, narky. I've said many times, Amber's specific traits of narcissism that we see are exactly the same as my mother's, or how my mother used to be before dementia turned her head into Swiss cheese. Which, quite frankly, isn't bad. The narc's gone. Thank you, dementia, for that. But it's the same look, the same smug look. Weird, right? Looks like she's cute. They're cute. I don't know what pronouns they use, so I'll default to they. I also find it interesting that this is all Tommy's footage, right? Pretty much. Tommy's face could be a filter. Amber would like this particular pause screen because she looks so devoted already after a month. Look at Amber. She's so happy. She's in love. I don't know, guys. Every single one of these shots, it's Tommy's camera, Tommy's angle, Tommy's camera. It fits in with my love bombing theory, although I can't imagine why. I don't have any reason for it. It just feels like... That's my file number, not hers. So that's it. It's not a lot. It's like 19 seconds or something. And I slowed her down there. But what are your thoughts on this? I'm inquiring minds want to know. Let me see what you guys are saying about this. I'm just curious. Crystal says Tommy feels like a scammer. Bonnie Ta says, what if the rumors are true and Tommy is a feeder? What a greasy match. Okay, I will tell you, I confess that I did a little tiptoe through the tulips on the farms that are run by the people that live in New Zealand. And it's all bubbling up over there. They have so many, let me tell you, they've released like 4 different pictures of, this is her! This is her! And then like a post later, wait a second, no, that tattoo is different. So there's been a lot of people trying to figure out how it is, who they are. I think at this point, the community seems to be convinced that one of the people that has been outed as Tommy is Tommy. I don't know. Yeah, CH says, PSA, being a tomboy doesn't make you trans. No, I don't think anybody here is saying that at all. I saw that feeling come up in the Amberverse too, and I think I'd like to defend people in saying that I don't think anybody's thinking that at all. I think people are just more concerned with a very male choice of name and a somewhat masculine appearance. Given Amber's horrible history, there's just a bit of concern, but I don't think anybody's speculating at all. We don't know. Like I said, I default to they until I know what Tommy's pronouns are. I'm not speculating anything about who they are. Not my business. Not my circus, not my monkeys. None of that. We'll have none of that now. We'll have none of that now in the chat. Tommy is a gender neutral name? No. Tommy is a play on tomboy, and I'll die on that hill, says CH. Okay, well, you know what? That's also your speculation, because we don't know. All we know is that classically in society, generally speaking, that name used to be considered a more masculine name. I've never in my life met a female presenting cis. God, it's so careful on the ice here. Is so careful on all this broken glass I'm walking on. I've never heard a woman called Tommy. If they are, then that's cool, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just speaking generally. Generally speaking, it's a more male name. It may stand for tomboy, and you may be completely right. But right now, I don't think we know. All we know is they've picked a name that society generally considers more male. That's the only thing we know. That's it. What does it mean? It means nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing about their sexuality or who they like or how they identify or anything. All it means is that her, or maybe Amber, picked this pen name for them that generally is considered male. That's all. Tony's different. Boomer knows a female Tommy. Oh, well, that's, I mean, and as I said, there could be. Generally speaking, though. You know. Remember Johnny Cash had a song called A Boy Named Sue? It happens. But that boy had a hard time because Sue was generally considered a more female name, although it was perfectly acceptable for that young man to be called Sue. How do you do? Now you're going to die. Can we get off that? That's not at all what I want to talk about. Can we just talk about Tommy and Amber and not talk about anything else about political sexuality? Because that's not at all what we're interested in here. We're just more interested in why the hell there's already a U-Haul on Amber's Instagram. I missed a member chat while I was ranting and raving. Salami Mommy, thank you for the member chat. Oh my God, my first member chat, and I almost missed it. Oh my God, Salami Mommy. I'm very sorry. I'll leave it up longer to make up for almost missing it. I apologize. Tommy isn't their name. We don't even know if they picked it. It could have been something Amber picked. It could be something, an inside joke. It means nothing. It's 5 letters put together. That's all we know about that. That's all we know. Mez also knows a woman named Tommy. Like I said, that's great. I'm sure they exist. Generally speaking. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, it's nothing personal, Salami. That's why Elle is here. And the other mods. Val does it too. Every time I put in my headphones, I've got to put in my headphones. Val's going to call me out. Paca! Look at that, Paca. Maple syrup, Rio, not a diagnosis. Thank you. Thank you for your member chat, Paca. Tommy looks quite young. Anyone speculated on age? Of course. Everybody has been speculating on everything about this person, and Amber knows it, and that's why it's really interesting that that Tommy was so okay with putting out all their footage, because this is all Tommy's footage here. It feels like, like I said, there's a lot of silly speculation and theories on the farms, probably on Reddit too, but as we know, I don't really go there, despite the popular opinion. There was an interesting thing. Hang on a second. Let me just do a little mute while I clear my throat. There is an interesting thing, but again, it could be just crap. We don't know. People are coming out of the woodwork saying all kinds of stuff right now. And as of right now, it's all speculation. Thomasina. Jan had a Thomas. Thomasina is a real name. It's pretty rare though, right? Again, generally speaking, Tom is a male name. I'll die on that hill. You can all tell me about, y'all have a friend named Tom. All of a sudden, I met 600 people today who have a friend named Tom. Okay, it's generally a male name. Generally. Anne is generally a female name. Generally. I'm not talking about names anymore. Yeah, Kiwi Farms, as they've speculated on Tommy's gender identity, on their name, on where they live, on what they do. I mean, it's all been speculated. I didn't check today. I looked last night. I'm sure there's 1,000 more theories there today. But they did have this interesting little blip of some reply on a comment or somebody where somebody said, I know who they are because they were chatting with me in DMs a while ago, and now they've moved on to Amber. But that's all that it was. And then there was a video that I debated showing, but I don't think I'm going to. Number one, because they just put it out today. And number two is I don't feel super comfortable with it. There's another AMBERLYNN Reach channel. I believe it's Orange Chicken, that put out a video that has other clips of what Tommy looks like. And it's taken from what people believe is their social media, which is now locked down, but they got this stuff before they locked it down. So it's some TikToks and some Facebook pictures and selfies and stuff. It's interesting. It sure looks like it's them, and it has their name and everything. So I'm not going to show that here, but it's there. It's out there if you want to look for it. It could be them. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure you guys would be interested. I just saw it right like about an hour before I went live, and I was going to play it. And then I thought, you know what? Not real comfortable with that. Despite what some people on YouTube like to think, I'm actually not into doxing. Alice says, to be honest, Tommy should have had that locked down right when they started talking to Amber. I completely agree. It's almost weird. It almost feels like it's all set up to me. It's very strange, like all these pictures that Tommy once released, that Tommy filmed their whole night. Amber, the vlogger, didn't film anything. Tommy filmed a film. People are also speculating that Tommy's a bit of a narc and really wants to be in the spotlight a lot. I guess that remains to be seen. There's a lot of speculation about this person. Jess says, yeah, you didn't even allow it in the Discord. No, I'm not allowing it in the Discord. I'm not talking about Tommy's real name. It doesn't even matter. Who cares? What do we need the name for? The more rotten corners of the Amberverse will dig up all the details if we're interested in finding out, which, admittedly, it's interesting to know. I'm not interested in spreading it. It'll happen eventually. Who cares what her name is? Rat says, to be fair, she's a crappy vlogger, and normies will film their whole night out for Snapchat. That's true. That's true. Everybody films their night out, right? Sufferfish says, are we really at the stage where we call people they, them until they publicly say otherwise? Amber calls her new girlfriend, and she looks female, so just call her Shirley. Sufferfish, I can't say I don't agree with you. But being a person on the internet and on YouTube, I just think it's always safer to default to they. There's, I get your sentiment. I really do trust and believe. I feel your sentiment. But out of respect, I just think it's easier to say they. I know I'm a serial doxer. Mez says this was all absolutely planned. Doesn't it feel planned, Mez? It feels everything's very timed out, right? I don't know why she didn't include any footage of Tommy in her video where she outed Tommy. But yet she takes all Tommy's footage and puts it on her own social media to release it the day after. In her video, she's crying because they're gone, but she doesn't say a word about when they're coming back. And then she posts a U-Haul. Like, is that real? Like, people are already, oh my God, she's already moving in. And she very well may be. She might still be there now. Who knows? But I also wonder if Amber just posted that because she wants to get in on the U-Haul lesbian joke, which also feels very AMBERLYNN coded. Are we saying the name? The name for me is Tommy. Until Tommy or Amber publicly say otherwise, this person is Tommy to me. That's how I'm playing it. You guys can play it however you want to do. Yeah, I would rather not see the name in our chat, and mods for sure just delete it for now until it's more publicly known. It's out there for sure. So Tommy Salami works. And honestly, what is the name? What is Tommy's real name? Why does that make any difference to you? Does it make any difference to the storyline? It doesn't for me. Like I said, there's other people. There's uglier corners of the Amberverse that will do all that kind of digging. We don't need to. I'm open for speculation. It's fun to speculate about stuff like why is she or they there? Where are they from? How long did it take them? Destiny. Lilith, I saw that on Kiwi Farms. They were calling her Destiny, which was pretty funny, I had to say. Although I don't know if skinny is accurate, especially look at this pause frame. Oh my goodness. She's not a big girl. I gotta cough my lungs out for a second. Hang on. I said excuse me with the mic off. Yeah, she's not. I don't know if I'd call her skinny. She's a little thick. That's a thick girl. She got some thick arms. Nothing wrong with that, but I don't think I'd call her skinny. Yolama Yikes says it was bait. Amber wanted to cry about her being doxxed. I don't know what their plan is. It does feel like there's a plan, though, doesn't it? Everything feels so contrived and timed. Skinny relative to the Amberverse, or that's not entirely inaccurate. That's not entirely inaccurate. Also, people were saying, remember how much weight Fled gained over the course of time? I wonder if Tommy's going to be gaining some weight. It looks like it's muscle. I don't know. I don't think it looks muscly to me. Molly, I just said that. We're on the same brain. And of course, we know. Oh, look, that's my desktop. I took that picture from the most epic hammock in the world on the edge of Corcovado. That was great. Sorry, I got lost for a moment. All right, what was I going to look at here? I want to just, we got to keep a check on all the time. We got to keep our check on all the time on these ticky tackies and make sure she hasn't put up anything new. I don't think so. I checked a while ago. She has pinned. No, there's nothing new except this. Listen to this again. We'll just pause that. But wouldn't it be fun to just look at the comments a little bit on the ticky tack? Let's move Merc over here. So Thomas, the browse, they were bad comments, but I wonder if she's got deleting comments now. Okay, this was interesting too. One of the comments she responded to, someone wrote, "Wow, Amber, someone actually attractive for once. I'm proud." What kind of weird thing is that to say to somebody you don't know? And she writes a whole bunch of laughing emojis as a response. Wasn't Destiny the cutest shit you ever saw? Wasn't that what she said? You're the cutest shit. Wasn't she showing off to Becky? Look at her. Look at her. With the Fled picture, because Fled was so flippin' hot. And now you're going to say this about? She's still digging Becky, eh? Still going to get those little digs in, right? This is funny. Someone wrote, all the commenters are paid actors. That's funny. Oh, people are also speculating that Tommy's a feeder. Oh, Pink Sparkles wrote, "You look so cute together. I'm so happy for you both." And Amber, of course, responded, "Thank you so much to Pink Sparkles." But she doesn't respond to a lot. People are saying that your dear Slommy, they're calling her Slommy, is in the DMs of a popular obese TikToker and has been for weeks. Love that for you. Oh, so I guess that TikTok, remember I said somebody said she's been in my DMs? I didn't know who wrote that, but I guess it's a popular obese TikToker, which could be hundreds, right? Oh, I saw this one too. Someone wrote, "My heart. As a foster kid with all the trauma, I'm beyond proud of you, sweet girl. Congratulations. Enjoy this happiness." And Amber wrote, "Thank you so much." So, yeah. And so on and so forth, et cetera, et cetera. It's a community reference. If you know, you know. Did you say et cetera? Never mind. I don't know what being a foster kid has to do with anything. Do foster kids they don't allowed to be loved? What's that about? The weird comments, man. Hey, cereal. Bob Smith is a big fan of what cereal is that? Welcome to the show. Cereal. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, cereal. We do love us some Bob Smith. I'm telling you, Bob Smith and I have been friends in DMs for probably over 2 years now. Bob Smith has been a long time supporter of the channel, and Bob has been going through the ringer for the last 2 years, and things are just finally starting to look up a little bit for Bob, and I'm so happy for that. Bob is a sweet, sweet man. Sometimes they get understood in the comments. People seem to pile on them sometimes, but there's no need for that because Bob is a wonderful, kind man. So there, Bob. So there you go, Bob. Oh shit, Bob's gonna see me say that. Don't tell him. Cereal. Not even we can't. Okay, I can't say much more about Tommy. Is there much more that we can say about Tommy at this point? At this point, we're just waiting for that live stream. Come on, girls. Come on, lovebirds. Cam up for us. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, God, it would be so good. Can you imagine how much fun that would be? Oh, it would be so much fun. Remember the heady days of the live streams, and we all said, this is terrible. Why does she do this? We hate this. Good Lord, I would love to have a live stream. We'll do a sphere check. Ella's requested a sphere check because I have noticed that many of you have still gone on to support Sphere, and we appreciate that. Not affiliated with Sphere, just a friend of the channel. Sphere comes up first or second, always. We're just going to check because I know Sphere wouldn't claim me. Sphere. Here we are at the Sphere, and look who's here. We've got Alex Garcia, we've got Talio. Oh, the Narc Alert was there earlier. Just checking in on the Sphere. Ella was there, Grumpy Dino. You see, the alerts check in with the Sphere. Although, again, I'm going to tell you, the Sphere is way, 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 way good at night. Music? Is it playing music? I don't have my headphones in. Shit. Damn it. I wasn't playing. I didn't hear it. Thank you, Ella. Oh, poop. Now I'm going to poop. We try. We try. Anyway, that's the Sphere. That's all you're getting, the Sphere now. I wonder if it was on long enough. Am I going to get claimed? Of course I'm going to get claimed. I never get one slide. Never one slides by for me, you know? Dumb music on dumb YouTube. All right, like I said, that's a little Sphere check. If you haven't already checked out the Sphere, please go check it out. It's called Watch the Sphere. It's a 24-hour live stream of the Sphere in Las Vegas, and for no particular reason, we've become enamored with this Sphere. And the content creator, I think, is pretty happy that people are in their chat now and stuff, so it's just fun. YouTube copyright depends on... It could be YouTube music. It was pretty generic. You will see what happens. Yeah. YouTube, hey, they are testing out a new feature now where you can apparently mute the music out, but it keeps all the voices in, the dialogue. I don't know how good it is, but we'll see. We'll figure it afterwards. And the worst, we mute it for 5 seconds and lose the chat. So that sucks, but we'll live. Our little palette cleanser today. You know, I've been talking to the mods and I've been saying it's hard to come up with content right now. Because for me, I find that everything right now seems, I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but everything's so flippin' dark all the time. Like everybody's on all the time about predators and pedophiles. It's like, God, I don't want to spend all my time watching that stuff. I feel like people are getting, it's just like, oh my God. Everything is dark all the time. All the good YouTube drama right now. You know what's going on? Dr. Disrespect. SA charges. Ava Tyson from the Mr. Beast channel in all kinds of trouble for stuff. Cody Ko, big reactor in all kinds of trouble for SA. Like, come on, guys. Can we all just lighten up a bit? That's not fun. It's not fun. I don't even want to cover that stuff because it's all over my homepage all the time. And I'm sick of it. And I think if we all just watch it all the time. It just perpetuates and it's ugly. Remember when YouTube was fun and silly? And now it's like people are just sitting on a perch waiting. Oh, is that creator good? Let's wait. Let's go dig into their past and find something ugly. Like people just thriving on the ugly right now. And I'm sorry, I don't get with that. Cody Ko, you didn't know about that? Oh, Cody Ko's in trouble for essay on an inappropriately young viewer as well. They all are. It's all the same. Stay away from your young viewers, you guys. What the frig is wrong with you? Jack says, I dislike how a lot of them jump on the hot topic for money. Well, I get it. You know, I still cover Amber because people are going to click on Amber. There is that. But it's just so ugly. Do we have to perpetuate it all? Like, and it's all the same at this point. Oh, another person was caught. Essay on a younger person. Yeah, well, that's why we're not going to cover any of that stuff today. I dug into my archives of my brain. Actually, this is something I shared with some people in the Discord the other night because it's a really funny part of mine and Toronto's history. It's an interesting story. It's made for YouTube, and I thought it would be a perfect palate cleanser for today. And that's a character who used to be known in Toronto. He hasn't been around for a while, but he was known as Zanta, Santa with a Z. Very little to do with Christmas. You know, I'm not a Christmas elf, and it's certainly not Christmas time. So just stay with me here, Zanta, right? Now, some of you guys know my name, Merc, came from, in 2016, I was a moderator on a website called Blog TV. Blog TV became YouNow in the States, but we had a blogtv.ca and a blogtv.com, and they were geo-blocked. So some of you may have known Blog TV, but you probably wouldn't have run into me because I was on the Canadian site. I was on blogtv.ca, Mod Mercury. So we had to watch. We basically just had to make sure people weren't doing anything illegal on camera. Like if they were smoking weed, we'd tell them, we don't care if you're smoking weed, just, block your camera off while you're smoking. You can talk. Anyway. Zanta was a character well known in Toronto by that time as pretty much a public nuisance, but quite a character, and I'll get into it. And eventually he got pretty much banned from everywhere in the city. He was not allowed to be anywhere publicly anymore. And he showed up on our website, Blog TV. And that's when I met Zanta. So I had an interesting experience with him and then found out about his history, and he's quite a character. So there's a couple of short little documentaries on him. I don't know if we'll watch one of those or we'll just watch clips on him, because I'll tell you his story, a little bit of his background. Let me see. We'll put a nice picture of him up so you can see who he is first. Zanta. Some of you guys might know if you're from Toronto or around the area. Certainly, you probably have heard of him. His real name is David Zankai. Now, this guy, he was known for running around the city looking like this. Always with kind of board shorts on, no shirt, 365 days a year, no shirt and shorts. And this Santa hat, right? Hey, there's Bob. Hey, Bob, you just missed a whole bunch of Bob love in the chat earlier. Everybody's got that Bob love going on today. So, yeah, you wait. See, that's the problem is Zanta hooks people, and then you start, it's a ride. We're going to go on a little ride. Let's see. I like it better over here. Let me move my window over here. So this is Zanta. So basically his story is he was working as a builder or something in construction, and he was up high on a ladder. He fell off his ladder and injured his back, so he couldn't work anymore, right? And then there's a whole bunch of holes in the story, but his wife left him with their baby. So he went to court and wore the Santa hat to court because he said, every day was going to be Christmas until he got his baby back or something. There's something about he wasn't going to take off the Santa hat until he got his child back. And it was, people are like, oh my God, this is such a nice story. And he's so sweet and he's so misunderstood. Okay. You with me so far? All right. So now this is my man. This is my main man, Zanta, right here. Let's see. I don't know if there's any audio in this. This is Zanta. I will say this is Zanzibar. The other night we went on a Discord walk, and Corny wanted to go to a strip club, so we went to the Zanzibar, which is right there. So this is right by my house. This is Yonge Street, the big street in Canada. She's just walking up the road. But we need to see him in action. Okay, this is him in action. He's known for doing push-ups. He says he does push-ups because it's the only thing that doesn't hurt his back since the accident. So he just stops wherever he is and does push-ups. This isn't a very good reputation. We can do better. I'm going to find you something good here. He has a number of sounds that he makes. He's got a lot of documentaries he's made on himself too, so. Here's a good one. See, the problem is, we'll let this go. This is a public bus that he's trying to get on in Toronto.
That's why. Come on, man. People don't like me, they love me. Straight guys love me. They're not gay. They love me. You don't stand up and say ho ho. I know you say straight up, the camera, whatever, but stand up and say ho ho. That the ho ho is a no. That.
He says his catchphrases are. He says yes, and he makes this noise. Yes. Okay, it all sounds very innocent now, but the guy is really a bit of a hazard. What he started doing is every time any of the street reporters were on the street giving the weather or the news or whatever, he would be in the background constantly. And like to the point where it got so bad that he was banned from Queen Street area of downtown Toronto. And then he would be on the subway all the time, harassing people on the subway, upside down, doing push-ups, yes, all the time. And people got sick of that. So he got banned from the transit in Toronto. He's no longer allowed to use transit in Toronto. He was banned from the downtown core. And then he was in Yonge and Dundas all the time. So he got banned from Yonge and Dundas, which is a major square in Toronto. And that's when he showed up on my website. But I'm going to put this documentary on and we'll skip through it because it's 15 minutes long. I don't know if you want to watch the whole thing, but yeah, this guy's old school. Old school. Thanks to this channel called Anomaly Documentaries.
If you've ever lived in Toronto, chances are you've heard of the eccentric bodybuilder known simply as Zanta. Characterized by his festive hat and buff physique, Zanta...
He's definitely mentally ill, but he refuses to take medication or be treated. And then at one point, he did end up going back home and staying with his mom and getting back on medications. And then he went off the rails again, and now nobody knows where he is. He's definitely got issues. This is just good because there's so many clips of him, but this just kind of puts it together in a package.
It has been described as everything from mildly amusing to highly annoying to even threateningly aggressive.
I can't believe he's not on Twitch IRL streaming, you guys. That's absolutely Ice Poseidon would love this guy.
His erratic behavior has landed him in hot water with the Toronto Transit Commission and once earned him an appearance on the popular television show Kenny vs. Spenny. So what is it about Zanta that
Kenny vs. Spenny was a Canadian television show that kind of predated the internet. Would have been a great show on YouTube. Two roommate guys, schleppy Canadian roommate guys who would challenge each other like to disgusting pranks, like who can hold crap in their pants the longest, who can smoke the most weed, stuff like all this kind of stuff. So they did an episode, who can do the most push-ups? They, oh, this will be great. We'll invite Zanta and see who can do the most push-ups. Well, they did invite him. And then they couldn't get him to leave the house, and they couldn't get him to go along with anything because he just takes over. Once he's there, that's his game now. It's his show. It's not your show anymore.
makes him such an anomaly?
That was
Zanta
from the
first
show.
appeared on the streets of Toronto sometime in the early 2000s. Most early onlookers ignored this strange, shirtless individual who would often flex while muttering holiday-related remarks under his breath, regardless of the time of year. But a handful recorded him for posterity.
Santa Claus, he says Merry Christmas, M-A-S. I changed the A to an E and add S. Merry Christmas. Fucking mess. Look at that mess. I'm the Toronto Zanta. Not Santa, Zanta with a Z.
I can't help it. The da da da. Yes, yes, yes. The noises just crack me up each and every time. B says, I love Kenny versus Spenny. You know it, eh?
Like that.
See, the problem is at first people thought he was kind of funny and his story was kind of charming. And they would kind of let him in. Like they did on Blog TV. They would, like, we banned him from the website because he was doing weird things with girls that were too young. Nothing terrible, but just like, you shouldn't be having these girls in your house. So we banned him from the site. And then people would have him on as a co-host because you could have co-hosts on Blog TV. And they'd have him on as a co-host and we'd go, we're going to block you. Like, you can't, he's banned from the site. You can't invite him on your show. And they'd go, oh no, Maud, he's so sweet and he lost his daughter and he's misunderstood. And we'd go, you're going to regret this. And then in 2 days they'd be going, Maud, please help me. I can't get rid of him. I made him a mod and now he bans all my viewers. He comes on my show and kicks everybody out and leaves. Like, he's a nightmare, this guy. No, it's schizophrenia, I think, and bipolar.
www.torontozant.ca.
He's making those noises on.
You could determine at the time whether the man was doing a performance or simply insane. He described himself as a kind of busker, claiming his mission was to become famous.
Yeah.
Zanta initially wrote the URL to his website in Sharpie on his bare back, as reported in a 2005 Globe and Mail article introducing him as Zanta Ho Ho. This article also spoke of Zanta's desire to break the world record for push-ups. To accomplish this, Zanta was known to take up entire sections of Toronto buses, streetcars, and subway trains, often to the irritation of commuters on their way to and from work.
Like, it is funny to watch, but seriously, as a single woman traveling in the city, this aggressive, loud character, like, that's scary, man. You don't want that on the subway.
Yet such annoyance didn't prevent a small fan following forming around Zanta, to his obvious delight.
He had a lot of fans.
Over time, Zanta's image became famous throughout Toronto. Soon he appeared everywhere, shirtless in shorts, rain or shine, and always with that Santa hat. His presence grew
wherever there was a festival, like if it was Pride, and then he really got off on the Santa Claus parade. But
as he made more appearances in the background of the city's morning shows like breakfast television, and on other local programs such as Speaker's Corner.
I am the one who's been seen on the buses, subways, streetcars, subways, in the middle of intersections,
my
sidewalks.
friend was the original producer of this Speaker's Corner thing we used to have on Much Music, which is our version of MTV. It was like a public video booth where anybody could go in off the street and record a 2-minute video, and it might get shown on the show. Sexy Vegan is the American version of this guy, kind of. He can be. He could still have Tourette's, but he doesn't. He does those noises on purpose. He's impersonating a car. He said why he does it.
My infamous push-ups. I have lost over 42 pounds. I managed to sculpt this body into an apex.
One of his big breaks came when he temporarily replaced
Look at
Spencer
him.
Rice on the
I
Who
mean-
Can Lift More Weight with Their
The guy was ripped. The guy did thousands and thousands and thousands of push-ups every single day.
Genitals episode of Kenny vs. Spenny. Though many found the Zanta character entertaining, some were beginning to see him as a public nuisance. Still, he found allies in unexpected places, namely Toronto's Gay Pride Parade, where he was warmly
At
embraced.
first.
Zanta's explanation for
first.
this was simple. Quote, "It's probably because I'm not the only freak who's there." Even in light of this unusual appraisal, they still welcomed him at the parades in his Zanta getup. From here, Zanta's fame in Toronto skyrocketed. Zanta worked both online and off to secure his notoriety. As this exposure grew, so too did objections to his presence. Zanta would be arrested more and more throughout 2005 for trespassing, as he took advantage of
By the time he showed up on our website, we believed that he was doing a lot of drugs. He was always trading drugs. He was getting like all these street kids, like these homeless street kids, were all flocking to him and hanging out in his apartment. I don't know how he had an apartment, but he did. And he would like get these young girls who were like 16, 17 years old to clean his apartment in exchange for weed and stuff. So like we had banned him, right? Like
how morning shows use live shots of the street to get his face on television. At first,
did say
television
that, Kai.
producers seemed to welcome him, but this came with a caveat. Viewers became more interested in Zanta than what was supposed to be on
watch him in the
screen.
back.
Even as they went to great lengths to crop him out of shots, the public fascination with Zanta won. Eventually, they would simply call the police whenever he appeared. His record of arrests described him with, quote, "skull and barbed wire on right bicep, Santa Claus hat, goatee." By the end of 2006, Zanta had his own wiki.
Starlet says, "I don't care how cute you are. If you're loud and obnoxious, you need to get the fuck out of here." You know what I love? Here's the expression I love. Your right to extend your arm ends at my nose. In other words, you got all the rights in the damn world until they impede on someone else's rights, and then you have an issue, right? So yeah, he's got a Wikipedia. Let's skip forward a bit.
His real name was David Allen Zankai, and he was a resident of the Toronto suburb Etobicoke. The genesis of the character came in the year 2000 after he fell 25 feet from a restaurant he was renovating with his father. He was bad.
This is all this history that I've told you about. So, let's see. We'll go here.
Side of Queen's Park.
And be sure to join me starting this Sunday. Every Sunday, I'll be at Queen's Park at 1 p.m. Now it's time to hang out with Zanta. I want to get to know the fans. To let you know what I've been through with these fucking pigs.
B says, "I watched Kenny vs. Spenny religiously, so I recognize him now after seeing clips. But I thought he was just an actor on the show for an episode. No. He's real, and they couldn't get him out of their house."
Harassment, how my fans see me at every single parade last year. You know, these were
Questions arose over whether Zanta would have to retire. Originally, he planned to continue donning the red hat until he won custody of his daughter. But with the list of Toronto streets he was unwelcome on continuing to grow, he was forced to relocate to Brampton, a suburb of Toronto.
I've also heard in some documentary I was watching that the person got in touch with his daughter, and she's now an adult, and she's doing very well, and she did exceptionally well being raised as far away from him as possible, and she wants to completely disassociate herself from him. So his heroicism is not wanted or needed.
When asked why he was banned, Zanta would often grumble, "for doing push-ups." His exodus lasted about a month until he was spotted at Toronto's Carabana Festival. The city evidently couldn't keep him away, but lingering effects from his injury led to an unexpected turn in the Zanta saga.
I think he was addicted to painkillers when he was on our website too.
In 2008, Mr. Zankai was becoming increasingly isolated in his apartment. Out of concern, his mother Lorna pleaded with him to check into a nearby hospital and even offered to drive him. He jumped out of the moving car while en route, and his mother had to call the paramedics. He was seen by psychiatrists at Toronto.
His poor mother. His poor mother has really kind of stood by, not enabled him like Sexy Vegan's mother. His mother has always been trying to get him help and get him off the street. She's been trying so
General
hard.
Hospital, and they made a diagnosis many saw coming: schizophrenia. Now on medication, Mr. Zankai slowly dissociated from the Zanta character to the relief of his mother. The physical effects were apparent. Mr. Zankai had gained a noticeable beer belly. He was still...
It's really weird for me to see his face because I can't tell you, he was my nemesis for a year. He would, I don't know what the hell program he was running when we would ban his username from the site. He would come back within 10 seconds with a new name. I would literally spend my whole shift banning him, finding him, banning him, finding him 8 hours a day. That's all I did was chase this bastard around our website. It was crazy. But his usernames were always like stupidly like long. Like, yes, 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 I'm the real Santa. I'm back again. Yes, 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 yes. That would be his like username, right? So it wasn't like it was hard to find him, but...
in denial about his mental state, only relenting to take his medication to appease his mother. Mr. Zankai lamented that Zanta was finished, still believing he would have reached international stardom had he continued.
Yeah, listen, but see, the thing is I can't do it. If I do it, I'll get fucking harassed. I don't want to be fucking...
6 years went by without a Zanta sighting. His trademark Google Toronto Zanta graffiti still showed up in some places around the city. And in 2010, a Twitter
He used to always talk about that he was going to go on tour. And we'd go like, doing what? What exactly do you do that you're going to go on a world tour?
account went up claiming that he was running to be Toronto's mayor. In the end, the people chose Rob Ford. In 2012, the Toronto cartoonist
Zanta would have been a better choice, quite frankly, than Rob Ford, but that's a story for another day.
Jason Kiefer used him as the basis for a graphic novel called Zanta, the Living Legend. He met with Mr. Zankai, who he described as kind and genuine, a far cry from the crass bodybuilder familiar to so many. Then, in 2014, it seemed interest in Zanta was beginning to flare up once more.
Went off his meds.
Vice magazine published an article detailing Mr. Zankai's past brushes with mental health in wake of his injury. He says he was committed to the Center for Addiction and Mental Health in 2000.
I feel like Blog TV was 2016, which means I ran into him years after this, and he was full-blown Zanta when I met him. He was out of control.
3, for doing push-ups while making strange noises in public. Mr. Zankai claims he was simulating the sound of car hydraulics. He was extremely unhappy there, calling it a nut house. The article explains that upon release, he made it his mission to busk throughout Toronto to put smiles on people's faces, insisting that he never once did it for money. It also said that Mr. Zankai began the Jenny Craig program to get back into shape so he could once more don the red hat. Unsure of...
Just like Amber, I didn't know he did the Jenny program. That's awesome.
Whether he'd actually perform again, he talked of opening a Zanta museum in the back of a local pub. His son Nathan seemed to support him, defending his father in these words, quote, "It's just not that crazy. We even have the Brampton Batman out there. If they're not harming anybody, leave them alone. If there's a naked cowboy in New York, why can't Toronto have Zanta?"
Well, because Zanta harassed women on the street too. Zanta's name for every female was Princess. And he would tell women that he didn't think they were dressed appropriately, but he would say things like, hide your hoo-ha, and follow women up the street and tell them to dress. Like, it was a lot. He's not just being a street performer for fun and entertainment.
Toronto Life magazine later spotted posters proclaiming Zanta's imminent return. Some online commenters were less than impressed with this. A 2015 Facebook post claimed that Zanta was harassing women he believed were dressed inappropriately, shaming them for wearing spandex and making other lewd comments.
And say no to spandex and tights, so I can see the monkey. I don't want to see your monkey, princess. Cover up your monkey.
I know it's horrible, but I don't know why it's still... It's the noise. Cover up your monkey, princess. I don't want to see your monkey. Yes, yes, yes.
Those on Reddit were not surprised, with some saying they had seen Mr. Zankai being more aggressive to women than in the past.
This is when I
Though this
ran
was
into him.
hearsay, a 2016 article from the Toronto Sun said that Zanta was back, and amongst other things, had begun purring at women he was trying to get the attention of. There was no indication
Yes,
of
yes.
Zanta getting physical. TTC spokesman Brad Ross stated that the Transit Authority had received just one complaint about Mr. Zankai's conduct in the past 6 months, and that because of this, there was little that could be done. Zanta has maintained an inconsistent profile in the last couple of years, punctuated by a few social media accounts that are currently inactive. His Instagram is mostly filled with pictures he's taken with fans, and though he was active on YouTube through to 2016, this has since tapered off. Redditors still seem fascinated with keeping tabs on Zanta, posting pictures of new sightings as they come in.
Yeah, people are always looking for him, for sure. I don't like this layout. Can we do the TikTok one? We just do the regular one? How about that? Hang on a second. Let me mute this. What year was blogtv.ca?
According to Wikipedia, in 2006, Blog TV launched its Canadian activity under the name Blog TV.
Oh, okay,
To
2006.
find out more, look for the link in your Google Home or Google Assistant app.
Okay, 2006. So it was right in the middle of all this. Okay, I had my whole dates wrong.
Though, given the recent complaints made about interacting with him, these are invariably controversial. Last year, a Reddit post inquired about whether Zanta had passed away in a vehicular collision.
Oh yeah, there was that
but
rumor.
users quickly pointed out that he did in fact survive. Other than that, the Zanta saga has reached a comparatively anticlimactic
Sadly,
ending.
yeah, nothing exciting. He's too Pateau. He's mentally ill.
With his online presence dwindling to nothing in the last couple of years, it's unclear what has become of Mr. Zankai or Zanta as of late. His few public appearances, for better or worse, still elicit shock from uninitiated online
I saw
viewers.
him doing that
Most
day.
of the time, someone familiar with
realize-
Zanta will plead with onlookers not to.
Okay, I saw that happening that day. That's my corner. That's right near where I live. I didn't realize that was Zanta. Because I'm like I said, he's nemesis for me. Like, if I said to him, I'm Maud Mercury from Blog TV, he would probably think we're best friends, because I'm sure he would, if he remembers Blog TV, he would remember me. Because I pissed him off a lot. Isn't that funny? I remember seeing this guy doing this on the scooter in the middle of the skater crossing, but I didn't know it was him.
To encourage him, both for his own safety and that of others. It's easy to laugh at the antics of Zanta, or perhaps condemn him for the more outrageous things he's said over the years. But looking a bit deeper into David's story, it's clear that this is a man who has demons relating back to that tragic fall in 2000, compounded by losing...
Can we stop with the tragic fall and losing his baby? He's a mentally disturbed man. That's the problem. His wife was smart enough to leave with that baby when she was a baby, because she could see that this man was mentally disturbed and in no way ready to be a good father.
His daughter in court. Still, most of the admiration for Zanta appears genuine, and those who know his full story often express a hope that his road to recovery will continue along a more constructive path going forward.
Well, not surprised his balance is good, Pateau. Look at the amount of push-ups the man does every day. It's insane. It's insane. So that's Zanta. That's Toronto Zanta. Yeah, it was really interesting dealing with him, because I'm telling you, young people especially really embraced his character, and they thought it was, oh, he's so funny, and he's a little bit edgy, and he's irreverent, and, you know, oh, he's this edgy street guy. And it's like, yeah, but no, he's actually maybe a little dangerous and deeply mentally disturbed, needs to be getting some treatment and probably medication. And when he was out on the street doing all that stuff, clearly not medicated. We only hope that he's at home now with his mom in Brampton, maybe. I did run into some videos of him. Yeah, even I just Googled here. Oh, the shaky hand lady. There's another street person in Toronto. I haven't seen her in a while. There's a thing on Reddit here, and the shaky, she used to walk around like this all the time. When it said shaky hand lady, I only assume they mean her. Anyway, all kinds of crazy street people. You know, if you live in a big city, I'm sure you have your own there. Niemeyer, he was overwhelming, completely overwhelming. And like, he had a really aggressive energy about him. And, you know, you see, he's not a small guy. So that's a combination. As a tiny female, that combination doesn't make me feel real comfortable around people, especially people that are mentally disturbed and very strong. It's not a great combination. But yeah, he's gone. I haven't seen him. I think the last time I saw him wasn't, you know, in this corner that he hangs around in with one of his signs up. Google, I think he's got a website. And I did find a channel on YouTube that seemed to be him, but it was called David Zanta or something, and it only had 156, didn't have many subscribers, and it had weird like videos where he had taped arguments between him and his step parents, and it's just all mucky and muddy, and you can't really see it. It's really weird. But for his sake, I hope he is getting treatment and doing better, and all of this is a memory for him. I don't think he's ever going to see his daughter, though. I don't know that this was the right move to try and get his daughter back to become this weird street character. But I thought that might be, imagine he was the guy you saw last Pride. No, I did see him at one Pride, though, and I yelled at him, "Hey, Zanta, I'm Maud Merc." And he was like, "Oh my God, Blog TV!" But there was a fence in between us, which is the only reason I told him who I was. But yeah, I gotta say, he does kind of crack me up, though. The noises crack me up. The yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I still, to this day, I say yes, yes, yes. Anyway, yes, yes, yes. It's 6 o'clock, and you know what that means? It's supper time. Not for Rio. I don't know where he is. He must be in the bedroom. He's never in the bedroom. Rio? I don't know where the cat is. The cat's gone. Must have moved out. Sad to say. He packed his suitcase. See, look. Look, let's put the real cam. Look, he packed his suitcase and he left. Paige is probably gone, but if she's not Paige, that's the get ready with me. That's all the stuff is in there already. Okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to eat. We've got a fantastic movie to watch tonight. I'm so excited. We got all kinds of things coming up. We got Scrabble finale on Saturday. We got karaoke on Sunday. Paige and I are going to do a Pod Thoughts episode probably pretty soon. We got that great documentary tonight. Next week, I get to go to Green Day and you don't. I'm just being silly. Actually, it's Smashing Pumpkins. I'm more excited about. Thank you guys for coming. I can't wait to see you in the Discord. Oh, wait a second now. One more thing before I go. Hang on, just one more little thing before I go. Let me see if I did this correctly. Oh, I can't do it. Hang on. I was going to give some members, but I just got a new bank card today, and then the card's not in place yet, so I can't do it. I'll do it on Saturday. Thank you all for coming. Until we meet again, wherever Rio is, he wishes this too. You know what to do. Just, be kind. And hasta luego. Bye.